Some Firebird football about to kick off and be underway down here in the streets of Westchester, Lakota West, returning home after a big win coming off of the then number 17 in Ohio, Princeton Vikings. And today they will turn their attention to the Hamilton Big Blue as they come into Lakota West with their 2-3 record. We are just under 14 minutes away from kickoff here at Lakota West. And Grant, a lot of people are looking forward to this game, and it should be a fun one down here in Westchester.
Yeah, it's going to be a great, fun game tonight in Westchester. Lakota West coming off a big win. They went up against the number 7 team in Ohio, and they blew them out last week, 31-7 the score on the stat sheet. And so right there, you're seeing West, they're coming into this game with some energy. Hamilton, right now in the season, are 2-3. You know, they're maybe a little bit down on themselves, but hey, any given Friday, we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah, we love to talk about that West offense, and it seemed like last week they were just about as dominant as ever. It seemed like everything was clicking against a team like Princeton. So what do you expect to see out of them coming off a big win like that to take on a team like Hamilton here tonight?
So Lakota West has been explosive, not just in the run game, but the pass game. Really blown up, especially with receiver Brennan Remy. He's cooled off these last couple weeks, so expect him to maybe have a big comeback game tonight. Trent Lloyd, though, finally coming back off injury. He's been amazing. And so what we're seeing here is we've got a West offense who not just can dominate in the pass game, but the run game. And so I expect them tonight to use this as a game where they figure out identity. They've got a good bunch of ideas, but every week they've...
It is. Can you hear me?
Every week, sorry about that. But yes, every week we've gotten a lot better and a lot more different in how we play. And that's always what's great about this West offense is how adaptable it is. But I think tonight they really try seeing what their star players can do and push the limits, especially with Mason and Fairfield coming up, two really good teams. Fairfield, I believe, is number 8 in the state now at the moment. West moving up to number 3 after the win. But yeah, expect Lakota West to really try finishing this up and polishing that offense tonight.
And as far as the other side of the ball, it's debatable whether or not last week could be classified as a shutout. There was that one punt return. We did see some pictures of that on the broadcast. It was a little bit of a questionable call, but I know a lot of these Firebird fans are saying that game was a shutout. So a big game for that defensive unit. What do you think we're going to see from them heading into today's contest?
I expect our defensive unit to find themselves intercepting the ball again. Last week, we came away with a 0 in that interception line. And while that might not be a big deal, for a team that has all these D1 recruits, it's honestly like a part of the game's missing last week. I mean, they still played amazing because they know how to play. But I expect them to do it again. And they're going to get back out there. And so expect them to capitalize whenever the other team decides to pass the ball.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a moment and send it down to our sideline reporter down on the field, brand new for this week, Lucas Moody, down to tell us how that West team is feeling after their big win last week.
All right, thank you, Nick. The players have just finished their pregame stretches and warm-ups, and they're ready to start the game. And to answer your question, the players are feeling very, very confident down here at the sideline, especially after that big 31-7 win over Princeton. And, matter of fact, coming into this game, West is 5-0 compared to Hamilton's 2-3. And it may be easy to overlook a team like Hamilton, but if West really wants to win this game, we need to make sure we do not underestimate them. And that's all from me. I'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Lucas Moody, for joining us on the sideline. Our first week with the sideline reporter, testing out some new technology up here in the booth. But he did bring up a good point. You cannot overlook a team like Hamilton, especially coming off that Princeton game. You think maybe a little bit of overconfidence is going to be an issue here tonight?
I don't think that will happen. See, West is great in preparation. We had a great interview with Coach Bolden after the game last week, and he told us how he goes home, he gets rest, he sleeps, and the next morning he starts looking at that Friday's team. And so he's all about who's that week. And so West is going to really have this team's number, I believe, tonight. But although they might not run the score up into the 60-point region, I don't think they'll be ever in a position where they're scared of getting their first loss on the season.
So I got to ask you, we're mentioning some potential big numbers in the scoreboard tonight. Will we see that running clock, do you think?
Oh, yeah, I believe so. We've had it almost every single game this year outside of Princeton and St. X. And so I believe this is going to be another part of the same, and we're going to see running clock to start that third quarter of the game.
All right, so we're going to take a quick step aside, a little bit more to go before kickoff, just about 9 minutes on the scoreboard, but we've got all the coverage of tonight's game right here. If you haven't done so, subscribe already. We just crossed 1,000 subscribers on the channel, and we thank all of you for tuning in. Kickoff is just about to get underway. Stick with us. And all systems are a go down here at Firebird Field at Lakota West High School. Both teams getting set for kickoff. Should be an exciting one about to get underway. I know a lot are expecting a Lakota West blowout, but you can't really look past this Hamilton team, as we said a couple times in that pregame.
Yeah, you can't look past any team. It's just how it goes. Everyone knows that famous saying in the NFL, any given Sunday, but that works here in our Friday Night Lights as well, any given Friday. But you got to say, that Hamilton team really wants this one. They posted a video and made a whole skit saying everything about Lakota West was average. Well, Hamilton's just about to see how average we are. And this game's about to get kicked off here as I say that. And let's see what West has planned for this Hamilton team tonight.
As we were talking about just before we went back on the air, very wonderful football weather tonight. A little bit colder than it's been. The sun is hidden as we see a squib kick from Hamilton. West going to take it at their own 46-yard line, trying to catch the Firebirds off guard. But Lakota West going to come out with the ball, led by quarterback Mitch Bolden.
Yeah, Hamilton right there. They wanted to shock West. They know they're widely considered at the moment to be the worst team. But as everyone knows, any team can win any day. And so they wanted to catch West off guard. But a team as good as West is, you're not just going to do that. And it didn't work there for them as West was set, watching the ball the whole time and saw it into their hands.
So we will see Mitch Bolden come out on the field for the first time tonight to lead this offense. Not much farther to go. They are right near midfield. Had a pretty solid last week against Princeton as we see Giovanni Wilson, the man in motion, throw across the field to Ben Minnick. Bolden, incredible throw to Ben Minnick across the field. He runs all the way down, gets it across the pylon, and one play, one Lakota West touchdown. 6 points on the board for the Firebirds here to start.
I wouldn't call that average. That's all I got to say about that. One thing I like about this team is they don't talk the talk, but they walk the walk. Lakota West is a silent killer, and here they are once again, just proving their worth by playing their butt off. And so here's Tyler Bond to kick the extra point.
Not much wind down here at Firebird Field. The flag's pretty still on the pole. We are 10 seconds into the game. Lakota West with a chance to make it 7-0. And Bond, always consistent, gets it up and in. 7-0 to start. Only 10 seconds off the game clock. We're going to take a quick step away, but we'll be right back. Firebirds up early. And we are back. One play, one score for the Firebirds. They now take a 7-0 lead here early in the first quarter. And now it will be the big blue back to receive this kick. The second one we've seen not very far into this ball game.
Yeah, that touchdown right there, it was pretty easy read for Mitch Bolden. He saw two safety splits, what we like to call cover two. It's when you keep two men over top. But what happens there is you cover the two quadrants in both corners and you leave the middle of the field open. And they were playing really far underneath and soft, and so when you hit Ben Minnick, quite the speedster there, right in the middle of the field, he has room to run, and well, that's what he did. He's found those two safeties playing away from each other and split them, but here we are with Hamilton's first look on offense.
Ben Minnick, the Notre Dame recruit, seems to do it all. An incredible athlete for this Firebirds football team. As we see the kick taken just shy of the 5-yard line. Works up through a hole, sheds a couple tackles down to the 24-yard line of Hamilton territory. So we'll see them trot out onto the field for the first time tonight, led by quarterback Nick Lindsay.
Hamilton so far through the season have not played up to their talk, I would say. I said this earlier, if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. But I'm excited to see what they bring tonight. You know, any team can win when any team wants it the most. And so I really hope we have a great game tonight. We're coming off an amazing game against Princeton, and let's see some good football.
I do apologize. It will be number 5, Nasir Harper, in at quarterback for the Big Blue to start tonight's ball game. A little bit of Hamilton miscommunication on their sideline. They take their signal. See them get lined up and ready to go. The play clock winding down now under 5 seconds. You see the jet motion. Sir Charles Riggins. That'll be keeper for Nasir Harper. Not going to go anywhere. It actually goes backwards for a loss of about 3 on the play for the Big Blue to start the ball game.
Big Blue's coming out here with a set. And with this quarterback, number 5, who's got quite the build for a quarterback. He is 6'3", 240 pounds. This guy can steamroll you like a running back. He's built, he's big, be scared of him. Reminds me a little bit of Mitch Bolden. We'll see if his speed matches Mitch's, but let's see what they've got.
As far as ball movement goes, not as great as quarterback Mitch Bolden. Nowhere to run on that play. You've seen this Lakota West defensive front continue to dominate all year long as we see a handoff up the middle. Goes nowhere. Fights for a bit, not really able to get much out of it. That West defensive front once again coming up in the clutch, and we'll see a 3rd and long to start the ball game.
Gabriel Flores there, really getting in there and helping wrap up at the line. He met the running back right in that hole and was very excited when came down for almost a tackle for loss.
So we'll see 3rd and 10 officially, 10:33 on the play clock. Lots of noise coming from the Red Seas. We'll see Hamilton take another peek back over at their sideline. Harper takes a snap, runs out to his left, flips it away. Didn't look like there was a big blue player in sight. It ends up hitting the ground near a trio of Lakota West defenders, but it will fall incomplete. We'll see a 4th and 10, Hamilton to kick it away.
What I see right there is I don't think the quarterback was familiar enough with that play. It seemed like he was looking for a receiver who should have been where he thought he should have been and threw it to where the receiver should have been when it was drawn up. But right there, he was locked in on a specific position and just throws the ball up even though there wasn't a receiver there for him to find.
So we'll see the low line drive punt from Hamilton. It'll be Brennan Remy, as always, the return man back. Covers at the West 40-yard line. Not much farther back from where they started off the first kickoff attempt from Hamilton. See the West offense come out one more time. A big play to get them started on that first drive.
Yeah, what West needs to do this drive is find consistency. While explosive plays are great and fun for us, especially up here in the booth to watch and call, to really be a good offense and a well-oiled machine, you got to know how to do it consistently and just find a rhythm. And so that's what we're looking for here for them to find right now.
So we'll see Bolden out once again. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Junior Gonzalez, rolls out to his left, and he's going to fall down well behind the line of scrimmage. So a big loss on the play. Big, much-needed play for the Hamilton defense.
Hamilton, looks like they're breaking out their neon theme tonight. Lakota West breaking out their neon theme next week. We'd like to remind you all that next week is homecoming week. So for our students out there watching tonight, remember to get your tickets, come out to the game, and get prepared for that dance. It'll be fun.
See Trent Lloyd come across on the jet motion, takes the handoff. A flag thrown instantly on the play, as we'll most likely be seeing West back up a few yards.
Next week is against Mason. It's going to be a great game, homecoming game as well. I will be taking a step away, so we'll have a new fun announcer for you guys to take and learn and see next week. It'll be fun. We love having new people up here and trying it out. I'll be taking myself down to the student section. Nick Johnson will be calling it up here like he does every other week. And so we hope you guys come out and enjoy that game. Like I said, it'll be a great game. Larson Brown leading those Mason Comets. And they're doing pretty well themselves this year so far. And so expect it to be a fun one.
So the penalty on Hamilton, Lakota West moves forward. It'll now be 2nd and 9. And once again, a flag thrown instantaneously. And this one's going to be an offside. One more penalty on the Hamilton Big Blue. And Lakota West just inching closer and closer to that first down marker.
They haven't even done anything really this set of downs, and all of a sudden, they're about to get a first down. That's what happens when you make silly mistakes and just really kill your own team's momentum.
Yeah, that as we saw that first play actually going for a loss, we said it was a much-needed play for Hamilton. Ended up wounding themselves on this drive at the penalties as Bolden, with the keeper just shy of that first down marker, gets about 3 on the carry.
West offense about to come out set here.
And it did look like they gave him the first down, those chains moving, so we will see a 1st and 10 for the West offensive unit. Just now under 9 minutes to play. See Bolden in the gun, takes a snap, back to throw, under pressure, able to evade it. Breaks one, not able to break that one, so it will be a big sack for the Hamilton defense as once again the first play of the set of downs goes for a pretty significant loss for the West offense.
Right there, we saw some speed and athleticism off the sides of the line, especially number 7. While he did come into the play late, he blew over multiple blocks and really just kept moving. Number 7, Hassan Robertson, 6'3", 235, was able to not just use his massive size, but he used his speed on his feet to really make a quick rush and blow up the block and use his momentum to throw off that lineman.
Bolden in the backfield, Junior Gonzalez motioning out right. Pump fake from Bolden. Looks to the left side, that's Brennan Remy, one of the star receivers for the West offense, able to shimmy his way to make this play about a 3rd and 4 on the way.
West going back to their old-time favorite of offense. Get the ball quickly into your star players' hands because they know that their players can make a move and get a bunch of yards. And so that's what we're seeing there. Quick play, get the ball out, ball's moving, and they're going down for yards.
So we will see our first Lakota West 3rd down of the ball game. 3rd and 3 according to the change, 3rd and 4 according to the West scoreboard. So we'll see what Coach Bolden draws up for this West offense. It's a handoff that's Tabron Benny Powell to the right side, stumbles, but he's well across that first down marker, and the chains move once again for the Firebirds.
Tabron had a great week last week. Highlight of that game for him was that scoop and score that went for around about 60 yards down that side of the field. It was what really solidified West in that game, putting them up 16-0 at that point in the game. And so Tabron, it looks like he's even taken a bigger part of this offense now with after a huge week last week.
So we'll see a handoff once again. That's Tabron this time to the left side, able to find a big hole, gets the first down and a couple more yards as he's eventually brought down by a pack of big blue defenders. We did mention Tabron, one of those big playmakers for this Lakota West team, and he is starting to draw some attention from the scouts. We did see on his Twitter the other day that he will be taking a visit to UC here in the coming days. So a lot of scout attention being drawn to one of our up-and-coming Lakota West Firebirds.
A lot of scout attention to this whole team. D1 offers all across the board and just talent all around in general.
So we'll see the 1st and 10. Ball on the 24-yard line. Pre-snap flag down on the left sideline, and it will be a false start to back up West 5 yards.
False start. Got to hear the ref up here for the first time. I don't know if you guys heard that at home. Caught me off guard for a second. We never get to hear him. Crowd's a little silent tonight, but that false start from West really sends them back a bit and is going to be pretty detrimental.
So we'll see a 1st and 15. The Tabron run, 5 yards of it gets negated, so they move back farther outside the red zone. Ball now on the 29-yard line as we see Tabron motion over to the right side. Bolden under pressure, looks to throw across the middle of the field off the hand of the tight end, Luca Gilbert. His first season as a starter. He's a sophomore on this up-and-coming West team. Lets that one go and is a big missed opportunity for the Firebirds here early on.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that would have been his first reception on the season. He's a really talented prospect up and coming in this West team, but he's still a little young, so he's not quite the highlight of the offense yet. Expect him in a couple years when he's a senior to really be that guy that you come out every game to watch. But he was looking for his first reception there, and the ball was just out of his reach. He tried pulling in a one-handed grab, but just wasn't quite there for him, and he was lucky it wasn't intercepted off the bounce.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of him this year. He did get an offer from the University of Kentucky as a freshman. Probably much of a testament to Coach Bolden and what he's done as far as player development, as that rush not going to go much of anywhere. We'll see a 3rd and long on the way with now under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter.
While it might also go a lot towards Coach Bolden, like you said, it also, I think, goes a lot towards him being 6'7", 217 at just the age of a sophomore. Kid's massive. Just imagine him in his senior year when he gets all the pounds packed on. He's going to be a threat.
So see Mitch Bolden takes a snap instantly on the boot play to his left side, looks for Giovanni Wilson. Did it hit the turf and go incomplete? It looks like it did. And indeed, it will be 4th down on the way. So 4th and 16, we'll see what West decides to do. Will they bring out the kicker, Tyler Bond, or will they elect to go for it?
Right here's a difficult spot on the field. as this will be a very long kick, round about 44 yards for Tyler Bond to kick here. And so we'll see what he can do. This will be a great highlight for the kid right now if he can get it right between those uprights. So here he comes out to kick.
The snapper, Mike Gertz, the holder, Aaron Peters. Tyler Bond out to kick it. The kick is up, and it is drilled. Tyler Bond gets all of it, so we'll see a 10-0 ball game here early. 5:21 on the first quarter clock, and the Big Blue already down by 2 possessions here early in our ball game today. Ten to nothing our score as we return to Firebird Field. West able to boot a 44-yard field goal coming off the left leg of Tyler Bond. So it'll be 10-0 here to start. 5:21 left on the first quarter clock as we will see the Hamilton Big Blue take their second crack at the offensive side of the ball. We mentioned that southpaw kicker back out to place kick it away to the Hamilton Big Blue.
One thing I love about Tyler Bond is seeing left-footed kickers is so rare. And as you see, he sends a quick squib kick right there. It's exciting to see him play.
Turns it past the 20 to the 25, pushes to about the 26-27. So decent field position here to start for the Big Blue as they get, I believe, their first down of the ball game.
Well, since it was off the kickoff, I would not call it their first down. This is their second drive of the game. They're still looking for their first down of the game. But here we come out with their second drive, and they're looking to get a first down and move down the field.
So we'll see Harper and the Big Blue offense come back out. Looks like we have quick substitutions being made for Hamilton.
A little bit of confusion. Players meeting together to check their wrist bracelets, which contain the plays.
So we'll see Harper takes a snap, handoff to the right side of the field. That's Samaj Aldridge. Finds a hole, able to get about 8 or 9 out of it, and then ends up making a push. We'll see if they give him the first down, and those chains will be moving.
It's quite funny just to see the size difference between the running back and the quarterback. It's amazing. Samaj Aldridge is 5'7", 155. And then you go to the quarterback, Hassan Robertson, 6'3", 235. It's quite the comparison seeing them next to each other, but that's what you want on an offense. You want different sizes, different speeds, different builds, because the more ways you have to create a different offense, you can really get very complex and very big amounts of variation that can throw this defense off and make some big plays.
Ball on the Hamilton 39-yard line, 1st and 10. See some more signals over from the sideline. Now under 5 minutes and counting to go in the first quarter. See Romali Shepard roughing the man in motion as we get a handoff from the Big Blue. Instantly wrapped up by multiple Firebirds. That was Elijah Davis and Jacob Asbeck back there to take down that running back for quite the tackle for loss.
Elijah Davis really has some great play recognition. He shed that block before the running back was even able to cut. He saw that run in coming towards the short side of the field from where we're standing, and he just takes that run and gets his hand around. Running back slips out, but he sticks with the play and gets back on the running back to take him fully down with the help of Jacob Asbeck, who's led this team on the defense.
So we'll see Nasir Harper line up once again. See another motion, a handoff up the middle, back-to-back handoffs for the Big Blue as he will get wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage. We'll see yet another 3rd and long in tonight's ball game.
They're really trying to find a rhythm on offense. And a rhythm can always be hard to find, especially against a team that has been great like Lakota West. But once you find it, it's what leads an offense to really being elusive and dominant. And so right now, Hamilton is trying to push for that and really find that rhythm, but it has not landed.
So we'll see a 3rd and 14 officially from the Hamilton 35-yard line. Nasir takes a snap, rolls to his left, well overthrown. There is a flag on the field.
We would like to thank all of you in this quick break with the flag. We have 171 viewers currently watching as we speak, which is just amazing to see the huge community out to just support Lakota and its athletes. But here we are with the punt team coming on, as you all see. And so we're excited that you all have joined us tonight. And thank you for getting us to that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is the reason all of you guys are able to watch right now. So thank you for tuning in. Continue to tune in as we cover the rest of this football season. And let's finish out this game. Well, only 1 quarter in almost, but thank you all for watching. And here we are with the punt.
Yeah, we did have those technical difficulties with the subscriber count last week. We did get that fixed, and we appreciate all over 900 of you that have subscribed in the last month as we get a bad snap and the punter now taking off with the ball. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it will be a turnover on down. So West taking over in prime field position at the Hamilton 35-yard line.
Right there, what you're looking at is you're seeing a team who's organized and ready for the play. West was sitting in punt. They were not looking at a fake punt. And while Hamilton wasn't either, it's what happened. The kicker just did not have a time to get that ball away, so he tried running with it. But right there, you see Michael Brandkamp. Kid was locked in, and he was ready. He read that punter and saw him running down the sideline and was able to meet him before he wasn't able to accomplish anything deadly. And West now gets the ball in great position.
So we'll see 3 very notable Firebirds out wide. Josh Fussell, Ben Minnick, and Malik Hartford all on the left side of the field. On our right side, it'll be Brennan Remy. Bolden looks to pass down the middle of the field. Finds Trent Lloyd. Beautiful tapping of the toes on the west sideline. Get past the 20-yard line, almost to the 15. So the Firebirds break into the red zone. They already lead 10-0. They look to increase it here with now just over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter of action. So we'll see Ben Minnick jet motion over to the left sideline. Quick dump off to Malik Hartford. Breaks inside the 10 to the 5. Nobody in front of him. That's going to be a Lakota West touchdown. 16-0 now with 3:01 to go. Tyler Bond out to now kick the PAT to make it 17-0. But an all-around dominant performance to start this ball game for our Lakota West Firebirds.
Lakota West just came out strong, and they've been putting that ball in the hands of whoever has needed it. That play was Malik Hartford. Kid's a stud on defense, and he's a stud right here. Mitch Bolden looks right, sees the screen coming in underneath, a little bit of a wide receiver slip screen, and Malik Hartford sees the whole defense covering that right sideline, so he slips out to the middle of the field and then pushes towards the right. So here's Tyler Bond to kick the extra point.
Snap is good and the kick is good, so now 17-0 our score, 3:01 to play. Hamilton going to get the ball once again. They now trail Lakota West 17-0. And we're back 17-0 now our score. Still in the first quarter of play. Lakota West absolutely dominant to start this ball game against the Hamilton Big Blue as they now kick it off once again to this Hamilton offense who has struggled to pick up momentum all ball game long.
We would like to note that an ambulance with lights on has now pulled into the stadium. We always do like to note that safety is our #1 priority. We did not notice any players down on the field, so we hope that if it was a fan, they are doing okay and they get home tonight safely. But here we are with the kick received by Hamilton.
Taken at the 3-yard line, room to run for the return man. There is a flag down on the field, but that was Romali Shepard Ruffin able to get it well past the 30-yard line of Hamilton territory.
We'll see what the call comes out to be now.
And it will be a holding call, so Hamilton going to back up off that big play.
Hamilton on that kick there. Rolls out left. It looks like they're going to call a clear hold down the middle of the field. You've just got a big man. He gripped right around the upside of the collar of that Lakota West player trying to come in for the tackle, and he just drove him backwards, holding him by the collar. And so that's a clear hold and a good call by the refs.
So we'll see Nasir Harper, the quarterback, who struggled to get this Hamilton team going all day. A couple of sloppy passes from him, but all around it seems to be a pretty lackluster performance from the Big Blue thus far as they get things going. 1st and 10 from the 20 off the holding call. See the jet motion handoff to the right side of the field. Gets just a yard or two up past that line of scrimmage. Nothing major. We'll see a 2nd and long.
Lakota West just sticking with what they always do. Keep the safeties in deep, because when you've got a bunch of D1 athletes in your secondary, you know they can keep pace with anyone on the field. And so they're playing up close because they don't want a run to happen. They play with a little bit heavy set, and they play in close within 10 yards of the play, and that's how they're catching these runs before they develop.
Hamilton still getting set. They got a pretty generous spot, at least from our angle. They're calling it 2nd and 6 on the scoreboard. See Nasir take the snap, handoff to the right side. Couple tacklers right there. He is able to shed a few, though. Fights his way back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets about a half a yard out of it, as we are now under 2 minutes away from the end of the first quarter.
If you guys did not see on Twitter, we would like to thank the Lakota West PTSO for their support. We went over and we talked about what Lakota West student broadcasting needs would be and some help getting some technology support and all that, and they so graciously gave us $1,000. It was a great thing to do. It was very exciting for us as a team, and we're so happy to work with them.
Harper to throw under pressure from Tabron. Benny Powell able to evade up the middle, not able to get anywhere near the first down marker, as we'll see yet another 4th down from the Hamilton offense. And we do want to point out real quick that the craft show is coming up here soon at Lakota West, put on by the PTSO. It's their big fundraiser every year. We do encourage you to go out and take part in that craft show here at Lakota West. It will be next weekend, the week of October 1st and October 2nd. Snap is good this time. Punt is now up. Pretty low line drive taken by Brendan Remy. It will be fair caught past the 45. He is now taking off. There was not a whistle. He gets up past the 50 to the 40 of Hamilton territory. Flag down for, I believe that is a clear horse collar tackle.
Yeah, that'll go down as unnecessary roughness on Hamilton with the horse collar. They full on put their hand inside the padding and just yanked backwards. You can't do that. I'm a little unclear what happened with the fair catch call here as we're watching and seeing what we've got. He does wave his hand for the fair catch, but since no whistle was blown, looks like Hamilton has to chase him down. Hamilton's ultimately just going to use their ability and they're going to grab a horse collar, but the refs are going to point towards Hamilton and they're going to call that foul and they're going to move the ball.
If it were to be unnecessary roughness, it would be a big 15-yard penalty here against the Big Blue, moving Lakota West even farther into Hamilton territory after Brendan Remy, maybe a little bit of trickery, calling a potential fake fair catch, maybe some careful reading of the rule book. But that ball is being marched across the Hamilton 30-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it, and it will be right about that 25-yard line, almost directly on it with now 42 seconds to play in the first. Lakota West looking to punch one more score in to run up that score on the Hamilton Big Blue, who continue to struggle all around on both sides of the ball so far today.
Yeah, a horse collar tackle is typically always a 15-yard penalty. And so I think they were just talking about what happened there with that fair catch. And it looks like they're just going to call, hey, it wasn't fair. And so they're going to let the ball run. And so that's why West gets all the way down the field. And they're going to apply those extra 15 yards. And now West gets to set up on the enemy 25-yard line.
Still some complications getting everybody set. Hamilton running another player on the field. And there is the whistle. So I believe we will now start to get underway. West getting set, Hamilton getting set, 42 seconds. West from the Hamilton 25. It'll be Giovanni Wilson on the left side, takes the handoff, cuts back to the 30, runs it to the 25. He's running a whole lot, but he's able to get down to the 15. Flag on the play. Quite a bit of work to get about 10 yards on that play from Wilson. We will see what the call on the field is as far as the flag goes. And it will be a holding, or it will be a face mask. We're being told multiple things from up here in the booth. As always, we talk about that score between the refs and us here, the Lakota West Student Broadcasting Club, up in the booth. And indeed, it will be a face mask. So West going to move to the 10-yard line after the 10-yard rush from Giovanni Wilson. So it'll be about first and goal. They do have a first down marker just inside the 1-yard line, but if we're being real, it does look like a first and goal. Bolden now looks to throw to the left side off the hands of his man. That is Ben Minnick, incomplete, just a little bit low on the pass. We'll see a 2nd and 10.
Bolden there finds his window, threads it under the arm of the Hamilton player who had a great vertical and was reading that play well. But ultimately, West got the ball there, but just bounces off the fingertips, and it's going to go out for incomplete.
So they did move that last chain. It does look like it is officially 2nd and goal now. There will not be a first down marker inside that 1-yard line. A little bit of change with the spot of the balls. We'll see the handoff, a fake handoff, sorry. Mitch Bolden going to take it up the middle. And they fooled the Hamilton defense. Mitch Bolden on the 10-yard keeper up the middle, able to punch it in for the West touchdown as we see the lights. One of the darker games we've had so far. That's sunsetting earlier. And we have 193 people watching that Mitch Bolden touchdown. We'd like to thank all of you who stuck it out through the broadcast with us tonight. And we do want to thank all of you who have helped us get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can have over 190 of you. We appreciate each and every one of you for your support, as we will now see Tyler Bond come out to kick the PAT, looking to make it a 24-0 ball game and a 24-point quarter for these Lakota West Firebirds to get this ball game started. Snap is up, kick is up, and it is good. 24-0 our score. 21 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. We'll take a quick step away. We'll be right back with more action. Your Firebirds on top pretty convincingly over the Big Blue. $24-0 our score in the first quarter from Firebird Field. Mitch Bolden on the 10-yard quarterback keeper up the middle, able to punch it in. And we have now seen as dominant as a performance as we've seen from this Lakota West offense and this Lakota West defense as we've seen just about all year, as they now lead big here early. As that kick from Tyler Bond going to fly to the back of the end zone. We'll see a Hamilton touchback.
On that last touchdown there, I don't believe that was a planned option play, and that's one thing that's great about Mitch's QB vision. He saw the linebacker break and had the running back locked in, and so he pulls it out at the last second. But then number 34 in Hamilton was so locked in on the tackle, he looked at Mitch and didn't even think Mitch had the ball. And so he stops, stutters, watches Mitch as Mitch runs right by him and gets a free touchdown, making it 24-0.
So it'll be Nasir Harper back out once again at the quarterback position for Hamilton. They've been slow on offense all day, a couple of miscues, a couple of missed throws. Overall, pretty sloppy performance and a dominant performance from the West defense. We'll see Nasir back to throw, instantly wrapped up by multiple Firebirds in the backfield. We'll see the clock ticking down, and that will most likely be the final play of the first quarter. Ball is spotted. We'll see if Hamilton elects to run it down, and they will. And there's the whistle. So the first quarter of play is over with. West with a dominant quarter, 24 points up on the board. They lead 24-0. We'll see a 2nd and 15 from Hamilton on the other side of the field when we return for the second quarter of action. We are underway here in the second quarter from Firebird Field. Fresh 12 minutes on the clock as we see a big throw downfield broken up on the play. That's Drew Minnick. A big throw all the way down to the 40-yard line, just popped out in time by the senior corner.
Drew Minnick has been a real big player here. He's been able to get pass blocks, breakups, all year long. He's been locked down in coverage, and he's been targeted probably more than any of the other cornerbacks, not because he's bad at his job. It's because he's surrounded by so much D1 talent. Somehow he's been classified as the worst at his job by other teams, but he has proven them wrong week after week. He just keeps knocking that ball out of the air, and he's been a no-fly zone all year.
I did misspeak. He is a junior, a year younger than his brother Ben Minnick, the Notre Dame commit. So you see another play, quick handoff up the middle, goes nowhere. The run game continues to be a big strength as far as defense goes for Lakota West. They've been stopping it all day.
Switch of personnel here now. Punt team coming on.
We will see a fourth, and it is a fourth and long, 4th and 12 now. As the first 30 seconds have passed us here in the second quarter, we'll see yet another kick from Hamilton. It'll be Trent Lloyd, a bit of a different return man for Lakota West. Usually Brendan Remy back there. Trent Lloyd, the dynamic athlete. We've seen him do quite about everything this year for Lakota West. So we see a punt high into the night sky. Lloyd going to let it bounce, takes it just past the 50, tries to fight his way up to midfield, cannot get there. Wrapped up by quite a few Hamilton defenders. And we will see the Lakota West offense trot back out on the field. Pretty dominant performance, able to put up 24 points in the first quarter. So what do you think we're going to see from them coming into quarter number 2 of play against these Big Blue?
What West really wants to lock in on is consistency. That's always the best factor of anything you do in life. When you are consistent at it, that's when you are paid the best, that's when you're treated the best, and that's when you play the best here in football. Consistency is what you need to win state, and that's what West is looking for. So far, they've put up 24 points in the first quarter, so they're looking to put up 24 more in the second and really find themselves in stride.
Mitch Bolden and Junior Gonzalez, the dynamic duo in the backfield. We'll see Giovanni Wilson cut across the middle of the field, take the handoff to the left side towards the west sideline. Able to reach on that play. Maybe he gets about a yard out of it, but nothing major allowed by the Hamilton defense.
Wilson tonight has been very elusive, and he's been trying a lot of being able to maneuver around and really use the full field to his effect. On a play on the last drive, you saw him, before the quarter ended, you saw him switch full sides of the field and move to the other side to really get those 10 yards on that play. Instead of just doing a cut, he goes all the way around to get back towards that line of scrimmage.
So we'll see the fake handoff throw across the field to Brendan Remy on the right sideline. Able to work his way down to the Hamilton 45-yard line. So a third and not so long on the way for Lakota West as they look to move those chains on their first drive of the quarter.
Is this the first third down that Lakota West has faced?
I do believe they had one towards the end of last quarter before they had that Mitch Bolden keeper.
I do believe you're right, yes, but Lakota West has been excellent on first and second down so far, and you can tell by just looking at that Hamilton student section. Silent.
Yeah, we always love to compare those student sections. Hamilton, not exactly as full as we've seen some teams, as we see a quick pass to the left side. That's Trent Lloyd, very elusive himself. Able to break a few tackles, get down to the Hamilton 35-yard line, and move those chains. 9:40 on the clock in quarter number 2, and West offense keeps rolling.
Yeah, we were talking about the student sections. I would say the best section to travel we've seen is that St. X section. They had that whole visitor section rocking with their whiteout. We love to see both sides of the stands packed out because ultimately what football's about is just watching it with your friends, getting to see your family and friends on the field. And so we love to see both teams showing out to come see who they love to know in real life.
Yeah, and we did see quite the showing from the West student section last week as they took on Princeton on the road. Very big game in the GMC. We'll see Giovanni Wilson on the handoff up the middle. There is a flag on the field, so we'll see what the call is. See the refs confer. And it looks like it'll be a face mask going against the Big Blue. And there is a false start on Lakota West, so multiple penalties on the field, and they will offset. So without that penalty from Lakota West, that could have been 15 yards that they just lost out on top of that Junior Gonzalez rush. But we will see a repeat on 1st and 10.
Well, Hamilton right there gave up timeout here, though. Sorry for my interruption. Never mind. Appears like there was a timeout. I saw the signal there, but looks like that's not what they were talking about. Excuse my error there. And so here they come back out set with Mitch Bolden to lead the offense.
So we'll see Bolden take the snap, runs to his right, able to get it off. That's Davion McCoy down the left sideline. Davion with room to run inside the 10, shoved out of bounds at around the 5-yard line by Hamilton defenders. And that will be a 1st and goal, a big play from Mitch Bolden to one of our favorites up here in the booth, Davion McCoy, getting more involved in that West offense.
Bolden right there uses his eyes to fool that Hamilton defense. He looks right and stares down that right side of the field while his blockers set up a play on the left side of the field. And that's what allowed Davion McCoy to really get loose and exercise what's made him great so far throughout this season.
So we will see Davion McCoy come off the field after a big play, but he was a crucial part of this drive so far for Lakota West, as they're now looking to punch it in once again, potentially looking to go up 31-0 here fairly early in tonight's ball game. So Bolden looking to throw up the middle, brought down instantly by the Hamilton pressure. So a loss of yards on the sack. We'll see a 2nd down and less than 10.
Right there, Bolden kept his eyes locked downfield, and he forgot the sense of the pressure coming in. Bolden, who's been extremely good against pressure and developed well over the course of this year, has played pretty great, but right there, he just lost sense of the pressure coming in and gets hit from behind and then is allowed to be swallowed up by Hamilton.
Bolden-Gonzalez duo returns to the backfield. We see Bolden to throw once again under pressure. Running to his left, looks to the back of the end zone. That's Brennan Remy. Did he come down with it? No, they say he was out of bounds. Would have been an incredible play for the West offense. Just unable to come down with that football.
Bolden right there. Gets set, locks in, rolls out, and this is what I was talking about under pressure. He keeps his eyes on his receiver who he's found open and delivers an absolute beautiful throw there. But the ball just hits his hands and he can't quite hold on to it. Well, actually, excuse me, he does hold on to it, but his body control, it said that he tapped out of bounds before he tapped in bounds. And so sadly, it's going to come back, but here's West on 3rd and goal.
3rd and 9 to the goal line. We'll see Giovanni Wilson cut across to the right side of the field. Bolden on the boot pass rolls out to his right. Looks to throw, dump it off to the sideline. He will, but not for much of a gain, to about the 5-yard line on that Hamilton side of the field. I do believe that was Brennan Remy on the reception. Hard to tell from our angle what the number was. But we will see a 4th down and about 5 for the West offense. For now, it looks like they'll elect to stay on the field, but we'll see what they call here in a second.
Right here it is a decision from West to set the tempo for the rest of the game. They've decided, hey, if we score a touchdown here, we lock in this game, and if we don't get it, Hamilton's locked inside their own 5, so let's go for it.
See, Bolden takes a snap, play action to Junior Gonzalez, rolls out to his right under pressure, throws to the end zone. Did he come down with that ball? It will be complete. It will not be a touchdown. So the West defensive unit going to trot out onto the field, and the Hamilton Big Blue very backed up to start their offensive drive.
Bolden there on that play sees the pressure coming and deals it off, and he's going to find his halfback doing an out to the right side of the field, but he's not able to move upfield or cut before he gets swallowed up from Hamilton.
So we will see the ball spotted on the 3-yard line of Hamilton's own territory. And as far as this West defensive front is gone, I mean, they've shown pressure all day long. Maybe a potential 2-point scenario for this West Firebirds.
We would love to see that. I don't believe we've had one this season. First thing I think back of is 2 points is that St. X game in the playoffs last year where the only 2 points West gave up was a safety. But here we are trying to get our own 2 points.
So we'll see the play instantly flagged. It will be a false start on the Hamilton offense. So back them up. I do believe that will be half the distance to the goal. Hard to back it up that much when you're very close to your own goal line, but we'll see where the official spot is on that play. I believe around the 1.5.
Now with that false start, you get that half the distance to the goal. They're really backed up, and here comes West trying to get their first 2 points of the season.
If we're being real here, not much of a change for that Hamilton offense. Essentially a free play to look at what Lakota West is running, as we'll see the play ends up going just shy of the 10-yard line. So a pretty nice chunk of a gain for the Hamilton offense, not quite to the first down marker.
Right there, the QB, that was a great play by him. Pressure comes in tight and you're risking a safety, but the ability to stay in the pocket and keep your composure is great. He reads his receiver, sees the defensive backs playing shallow, and he gets a good throw off before they can come in and do anything.
Hand off to the left middle, stuffed instantly by the West defense. Flag thrown in from the Lakota West sideline. See what the call is on that penalty. And it will be a face mask that goes against Lakota West, so Hamilton with an even bigger chunk of gain coming off that penalty. Would have been about maybe 1 yard loss for that West defense, but instead the undisciplined that we've been talking about the past couple weeks comes back to bite them, and Hamilton moves quite a bit downfield.
Yeah, Lakota West has had a little bit of lack of discipline on small fouls, but that's really been the only big problem West has faced this whole season. They're a great team, and if they knock that out, I see them going all the way this year.
See a handoff up the middle. Great push from the Hamilton running back. A little over 5 yards on that play. We'll call it about a 2nd and 4 from our angle. We'll see where the ball gets spotted officially. And they're going to say he pushed for a couple more, so a 2nd and 2 down on the field.
Hamilton looking, trying to find their play, as we've got a nice night here for football. Dark overcast. Sun hasn't quite set yet, but it's already pretty dark out here for these Friday night lights.
The earliest we've seen it this dark as the handoff goes up the middle. And it looks like they will give him a first down. The chain's moving all over the place, but indeed they will move them. But it really is Friday Night Lights. It has been, seems like this week and last week we've got that full Friday Night Lights experience, and we're only halfway through the season.
Yeah, we love the Friday Night Lights experience. It's what you live for in high school. Getting out there, going with your friends, watching the game, seeing your best friends out there, seeing these big plays, getting to scream. These Friday Night Lights, it's what highlights your high school, and you'll remember it till you're old.
Motion across the field for Hamilton. We'll see a handoff up the middle. Hamilton sticking with the run game. They're not going to get anything on that. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, or we'll see another 2nd and long out of the Big Blue offense.
Both teams coming set now. Game's really slowed down here, but Hamilton finally getting a solid drive. They're moving the ball with precision and moving it constantly, and that's a huge thing to have. Consistency and rhythm is great and is the core of offense.
As Hamilton gets set for the 2nd and 8 play, we want to thank all 209 of you, but there is a bad snap. Hamilton is able to recover it around their own 20-yard line, but a big miscue and a big loss for the Big Blue.
Right there, that's a drive killer. When you've got consistency, that's what I'm talking about. It's what gets you going, and one play that's inconsistent can kill your drive. All of a sudden, they went from 2nd and 8 to 3rd and 23. Just a bad snap kills that, and now West is in a good spot to get this ball one more time before half.
Not only does it kind of kill the drive as far as down and distance goes, but a huge momentum killer as well. It seemed like they were starting to move that ball pretty nicely. And now under 4 minutes to go in the half, they're unable to get close to that first down marker. So we'll see the rush go for about a loss of 1, so maybe a 4th and 24 on the way. Hamilton getting set to boot it away to our Firebirds, who already lead 24-0. Maybe looking to punch one more in before half.
That would be ideal, wouldn't it? So here's Ben Minnick thinking, why don't I do that right now then? He's coming out to receive this punt, and let's see something electric.
We've seen a different return man, I believe, every single time the Big Blue have punted the ball. It typically is Brennan Remy back there. We saw Trent Lloyd last time, and now the Notre Dame commit. We say this every week. He does absolutely everything for this West team, including the punter position, as he takes that one at about the 45-yard line, up past the 45. Able to toe tap it on the sideline around the 46, maybe to the 47, depending on where they spot it. The Lakota West going to trot out onto the field looking to increase their lead. They lead 24-0, just under 3 to play in the half. We'll be right back. And we're back 24-0 our score. 2:54 on the play clock. Mitch Bolden in the West offense looking to punch one more in across the goal line to make it a 31-0 game ideally. See Giovanni Wilson, the man in motion. Bolden fakes the handoff, looks to throw deep to Ben Minnick. The Notre Dame commit just off the right hand and incomplete.
Mitch Bolden right there. Once again, seems to be his favorite thing. You love to see it as a quarterback. Cover 2 defense. It's always great to see because you don't have 3 men deep, and when you've got a track team of wide receivers, you know you can hit it deep. And those post routes that we saw right there, Ben Minnick, that's just textbook. The #1 killer of cover 2 is a post route, and that's what Minnick ran right there. And he had him wide open, but sadly it was just out of reach, and it hit him in the right hand down for an incompletion.
Bolden and Gonzalez once again in the backfield, as we've seen the duo all year. Or I'm sorry, that is Tabor on Benny Powell, but it does not matter. Mitch Bolden wrapped up by multiple Big Blue defensive unit members, and that will back them up big time on the sack. It'll be 3rd and very, very long for the Firebirds on the way.
Hamilton, after getting consistency on their last offensive drive, now finding momentum in their defense. What we saw right there was just a bad show from the offensive line. Although there was 5 linemen blocking and only 3 men rushing, with a little bit of a facade from their linebackers, the linebackers faked the blitz and the offensive line locked in on them, and all 3 defensive linemen just ran straight past the blockers and just swallowed up Mitch. I don't know how that communication seemed to go wrong, but here we are with the snap on the next play, and a flag comes out.
I do believe that will be a false start, or it will be. It will be a neutral zone infraction on the Hamilton defensive unit. So after the big loss, we'll see the ball move just a bit closer to the first down marker. Nothing major, only 5 yards given up by the defense on the penalty. So now 3rd and 13. It was originally 3rd and 17. Now under 2 minutes to play in the half. Mitch Bolden, the only man in the backfield in shotgun. Takes a snap. Once again under pressure. Throws across the middle of the field. Very high on the attempt to Brennan Remy. And that'll be a 4th down and quite long for the Firebirds offensive unit.
Dangerous ball there. Mitch Bolden got a little lucky. Throw was overthrown, but that Brennan Remy jump, looking for the ball there at the end, is what saved the interception. Safety locked in on Remy thinking he would get it with how acrobatic he is, and he just stared down Remy his whole way up that he didn't notice the ball way out of Remy's reach, and he could have had it for an interception, but West gets to wipe off a little bit of sweat there. Go, whew, we got lucky there. And so now here they come out, getting to punt it instead of having to fight off an interception return.
So we'll see the Notre Dame man back to punt, takes his time. Once the Gunners get down there, as we'll see the punt bounce around the 15-yard line, takes a friendly roll for the Firebirds towards that 10. They continue to let it roll. No one wants to touch it. It will eventually be down. 1:29 on the clock. That was Aaron Cayo on the touch for the Firebirds.
Hamilton offense coming back out trying to reciprocate what they had on that last drive. They had some great consistency and were moving down the field electrically, but sadly it got stagnated with a over-snapped ball, and it went right over the quarterback's head. But now here they come out after getting a good defensive drive, and they're trying to move down the field this time without that big mistake.
So we'll see Nasir Harper back out once again for Hamilton. We did mention a couple miscues on that last play, namely that bad snap that backed them up by quite a bit. We see Lakota West changing up their personnel a little bit. Some new players running onto the field. And we finally see both teams set and get ready to go for this next Hamilton offensive drive. Harper takes a snap, handoff to the left side. That's Samaj Aldridge able to find a hole and work with it across the first down marker. A big gain to start the drive for Hamilton.
One thing we would like to take note of is Hamilton gets the ball back-to-back here if they score a touchdown. They started the game kicking, which means they start the second half receiving. They can make this game 14-24 very quickly, and that is something West would not like to see, because that would also be the most points ever West has let up in a game if they do manage to go back-to-back, because Hamilton's driving right now with a lot of rhythm. And while they have not found anything substantial this far through the game, this right now is Hamilton's biggest opportunity to capitalize.
So we'll see the handoff to the left side once again. Samaj Aldridge able to find a bit of a hole, nothing major, couple yards on the play, and there will be a penalty flag down in the backfield. Elijah Davis, we do see him down on the field unhappy with the call, so I would assume it'd be going against Lakota West. We'll see what the official call is, and indeed it will be moving the wrong way for the Firebirds. 50 seconds now on the clock, and Hamilton moving ever closer to midfield. A lot of potential here to put some points on the board before half. It'll be Elijah Davis now running off the field for the Firebirds. It'll be a first down on the 45-yard line of their own territory for Hamilton. See Samaj take the handoff, gets it back to the line of scrimmage, maybe about a yard out of it, nothing major. As the clock continues to tick, we have not seen a timeout called yet by Hamilton.
Hamilton seems to realize that if they mess up here and West gets the ball back, they don't want another score before half, because that would enact the running clock. So they're trying to play a little bit conservative while still trying to get these points as they once again rush it up the field as the clock's ticking.
They get it up to about the 50-yard line, maybe a little bit past it. We will see a third down. It'll be 3rd and 4. Once again, no timeout. There is 10 seconds now on the clock, so maybe looking to take a shot deep to the end zone. So we're now at 5. They have yet to snap the ball. There it is. Indeed, it will be Harper looking deep. The throw picked off by, no, he dropped it, nearly intercepted by the OSU commit Malik Hartford as he falls down on the turf in frustration. But we head into the halftime, 24-0, as West heads on into the locker rooms. A big stop there towards the end of the half. They are up big over the Big Blue. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back with a whole nother half of coverage from Firebird Field when we return. 24 minutes to play here in tonight's ball game at Firebird Field. Coming out of the first half, 24-0 our score. Your Lakota West Firebirds up over the Hamilton Big Blue. Both teams about to come out and get set for the kickoff. But an absolutely amazing performance we saw all around on both units, both sides of the ball for this Lakota West team.
Yeah, Lakota West was moving as a well-oiled machine there in that first half. As you can see by the scoreboard, 24-0. West is very predominantly dominating this game. And so it's been great to see, but we're getting a lot of momentum there from Hamilton at the end. And in a bit of shocking turn of events, they decided to call no timeouts, even though they were driving down the field, and just let the clock run out on a deep Hail Mary throw when they still had all 3 of their timeouts remaining. So a little bit interesting of a decision there from Hamilton, but we're excited to see what they do in the second half. But we would quickly like to mention that the band just gave a great performance. They had the 8th graders out there with them tonight, as we've got like future Tomahawk night here, where a bunch of 8th graders and young football players experiencing it. And so we love the band, and we're excited that they did a great performance. They just won regionals, so go visit them on their performances. But here we are with second half play.
Tyler Bond, the man to get us up and away here in the second half. We'll see kick taken at about the 5-yard line. Hamilton, a small hole to work with, nothing major. And there is a very late hit. I believe that's Malik Hartford. Flags flying. We'll see who initiated all that contact, but we did see Hartford go flying after that play. There's almost definitely going to be unnecessary roughness called. We just have to see on who. You see the refs conferring at midfield.
Right there at the end of the play, it appears they were both locked into a block, but Hamilton would not let go. You could maybe expect a little bit of trash talking in between the masks, but Hamilton just decided to grip Malik by the collar and wouldn't let him go even after the play. And so there was a lot of, I would say, a little bit extracurriculars, Nick Johnson up here in the booth likes to say, and got a little rowdy, but here we are. They're going to call a foul on. I did not see a direction of which team called it, but it is going to go against Hamilton for that unnecessary roughness there.
Now we talk about common phrases up here in the booth. You know, the extracurriculars are one, and that extracurricular drew a little bit of laundry on that play.
Yeah, quite honestly, a lot of laundry, as the Hamilton player was ejected from the game for his. But the Lakota West crowd now booing and yelling terrible. So maybe we missed to see what happened there. Coach Bolden's out there talking with the refs. A little interested to see what they say happened, but their Hamilton player was ejected.
Yeah, maybe that was one of those situations, you know, something happened, you don't know who started it, so something has to be done. Maybe a bit of a guess call. We're still not quite sure where the ball is going to be or who is going to get disciplined. We did see the Hamilton player get ejected. I'm not quite sure where Malik is going to stand on that.
Malik right now tore off his gloves and helmet in anger, appearing like he's taking all of his equipment off right there on the sideline. He is still sitting on the bench. Does look frustrated. I'm not quite clear if they also ejected Malik from the play there.
They're confusing all around. We'll see where the ball gets spotted. Maybe a little bit of a clue as to where this ball might be going, who that penalty was on. Looks like they're lingering around the 40. And there is the ball at about the 39.5-yard line. Hamilton breaks the huddle. So we will see a third down. The chain's getting set. 1st and 10, fresh set for Hamilton. So we see the handoff once again. Hamilton sticking with the run game on offense. Fights to about the 45-yard line of their own territory. We'll see about a second and mid-range play on the way for Hamilton.
A little unclear what happened there still, but we do love seeing Brennan Remy now sitting with Malik. As Malik does put his helmet back on, though, unsure if he's coming back into this game, but here we are with the next play about to be snapped.
Hey, I hate to see ejections, especially in high school football. You know, it's all about the fun. It can get competitive at times. It's just one of those things you hate to see, but sometimes it has to happen. See the snap taken, flag instantly thrown. We'll see if it'll be a false start, and it'll be offsides on Lakota West. So Hamilton going to move up. It was 2nd and 6. Now we'll see a 2nd and 1 on the 5-yard Lakota West penalty. A lot of action so far this quarter. We're not even a minute into the first quarter of the second half. Time feels like it's been flying this game. Not so much right now as we are officially in Friday Night Lights mode. No sun in sight. All pitch black in the sky. See this here. Harper gets set. Flag thrown in the backfield once again. Nobody can get a play off, it feels like. And it will be a delay of game against Hamilton. So they get the 5 yards. Now they're bringing it back. Lots of penalties going all over the place. Some for West, some for Hamilton. We saw a potential ejection earlier. A lot going on down here with these refs.
Hartford still lingering on the sideline. Not appearing like he's lining up to come out to help this defense, which is where we all know he stars at. Once again, the play is blown dead.
We see the handoff, instantly the flag, and it'll be another offsides on Lakota West. So we see the offsides. They then bring it back, delay game, and now we're right back to where we were a few plays ago. Offsides, 2nd and 1.
We're not even a minute and a half into the quarter. And this has already been what feels like a 3-hour-long movie of just fouls.
I guarantee you this drive is going to be pulled up in next week's preparation. I guarantee Coach Bolden not going to be happy with the level of discipline being shown. As we'll finally see a play. That'll be Harper looking to run with it across the 50-yard line. He picks up the 1st down.
Right there, he just used his weight, gets low and starts barreling forward, puts his head down, and so when you get your weight, he's trying to put his center of mass actually over his legs, like out in front, so that when he collides with those defensive players, he goes through them, especially with how big he is. Right there, it worked for a few tackles. He just kept going and got that 1st down, but eventually, of course, 4 or 5 people are going to wrap you up and take you to the ground.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, but for some of our new viewers, 6'3", 240 as a quarterback. Is that running play not going to go much of anywhere? Looks like they lost about a half of a yard.
To give you a bit of sense, Mitch Bolden is 6'1", 202. And so, although Mitch Bolden is huge, you've got a big guy out there too. Well, that's one thing that adds to Bolden's game, though. He is massive, but he's not so big that it takes away from his speed. And so that's what's been beautiful is Bolden has both balance, speed, and weight. But this quarterback for Hamilton, he's just a powerhouse. He can run people over.
Yeah, Harper, a power guy. Bolden, elusive. You see the handoff there. It will be a 3rd down, not quite a 1st. Looks like it'll be about a 3rd and 3 on the way. So Hamilton deciding to stick with that run game. We saw a lot of run plays out of them in the 1st half, and it looks like we're continuing to see that here in the 2nd half. Do you think they're seeing a hole in the Lakota West game plan? Because it seems like they've been stopping it pretty well.
Yeah, what they're looking at is they see that secondary, which is amazing, and they're just trying to run it over and over. Lakota West always plays up close to the line, but they've got some consistency there, and so they're going to keep capitalizing. But here's another flag. This drive is well going to be looked at by both teams, but it looks like they're going to say a false start moving against the offense. So now Hamilton's going backwards to make this a long down. Maybe 3rd and 8 it appears they'll probably be going in for this next 1st down.
Yeah, from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8, they just crossed that 50-yard line. They're not quite back in their own territory, but it's only 5 yards. It is a huge chunk that does hurt them, especially on the momentum side of things, as now they're backed up to about the 48-yard line of West territory.
That was just a blow straight to the kneecaps of this drive because they were so close to getting that 1st down, and with their run game working, they wanted to run it, but now they're forced to pass with the long down.
Harper gets it out to Samaj Aldridge. No gain on the play. It'll be a 4th down and 8, maybe even 9, depending on where they spot that ball. But we'll see the Hamilton punt team run out onto the field once again.
We still have not seen Malik Hartford come out onto the field. A little unclear at what happened there. We know the Hamilton player was ejected, we believe, but a little unclear on what was decided with Malik Hartford for the rest of the game, and we'll give you an update on that if we ever get one.
So we'll see the punt team out once again. Now under 8 minutes to play in this half. And we'll see a fake punt snap taken very short. The pass is complete, but it will not go for a 1st down. The West section chanting short. And indeed it will be, so we will see the West offense come out onto the field. There is a conference between referees here. Maybe they're giving them a bit of a generous spot. And indeed, it will be going Lakota West's way. So a bit of confusion there. It did look like from our angle that was very clearly short of that line to gain. And that West offense will trot out on the field for their first time in this second half.
Yeah, not Princeton. That was last week. But Hamilton, once again, trying to catch Lakota West just off guard and make a bunch of fakes or surprising moves on special team. But West has been proving themselves on all three sides of the ball.
This will be Davion McCoy to the left side, able to get it to the 40, right back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Excuse our a little bit rough movements with the camera, as you just saw there. We're working with some new equipment tonight. We always love that our broadcast is evolving and changing. We've got a different type of tripod up there, and so our great cameramen are up there and they're trying to work with it, and they're fighting this camera and they're learning as they go. But we hope we're bringing you a great stream, and we thank all 205 people currently watching. We love that you guys show up to not just support us, but this Lakota West athletic, just great football team and all sports that they have. So thank you for showing up, and remember to keep showing out and supporting your Lakota West Firebirds.
So we'll see the handoff there to Junior Gonzalez. Once again, not much out of it. Looks like a gain of about 3. Brings up a 3rd and 7, a big 3rd and 7. Lakota West looking to increase their lead over this Hamilton Big Blues team that has been struggling all night long, still yet to put any points up on the board.
West comes set.
See Trent Lloyd coming across the middle of the field. Instantly a flag thrown. And that will be offsides on Hamilton. So I believe that is the 3rd or 4th offside penalty collectively that we've seen this half. Not even halfway through the 3rd quarter.
This has been quite devastating for both teams. Just sloppy play and a just wheelbarrow of penalties in a matter of minutes.
I'd say at this point we have enough laundry to fill a laundry machine. So see Bolden get that one away. Incomplete, big hit. And it looks like Bolden a little bit shaken up. He is able to get up. He's walking on over to the west sideline, albeit a little bit gingerly. Hopefully not shaken up too bad. So we'll see the punt team come on for Lakota West.
Bolden seems to be okay. Handling himself well. He gets himself towards the bench. A couple trainers are just going to check him out, but we hope he's okay. And I expect him to take a little more, bit of a light tread through the rest of this game. But here we have a timeout coming from Hamilton, I believe.
And it will be a Hamilton timeout. 5:55 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. We're going to step away for a moment. Lakota West still up 24-0. Big time over the Hamilton Big Blue. We still got half a quarter of action and a whole 4th quarter to go, so stick with us. And we are back. Hamilton about to receive this punt, 24-0 our score. Ben Minnick, the Notre Dame man, booming punt into the night sky. Inside the 10, it'll be Drew Minnick, his brother, able to down it inside the 5-yard line. Looks like from our angle about the 3. So once again, we'll see Hamilton backed up right where they were just before we got to halftime. First and 10 from the 2-yard line. Hamilton with the ball just as backed up as they were just a little bit ago. 5:45 on the clock in quarter number 3. West still in possession of the lead, 24-0. So we'll see a handoff up the middle. able to spin through a couple tacklers, a big run for the Big Blue, able to push right around to the 10-yard line, so a big play after being backed up on that beautiful Ben Minnick punt.
Well, one thing we always love to talk about is that this is a three-phase game, offense, defense, and special teams. It is important that you nail special teams, and that's what we did just right here. Punt was shot right inside the 5, and that gave Lakota West a big advantage.
So we do want to note that that was a personal foul penalty on both sides. Malik Hartford was one of the people flagged. He is ejected automatically due to that personal foul. So the Firebirds will be down a huge star for the remainder of this game.
Hopefully he's also not ejected for another game.
And I do believe we have a Lakota West timeout, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, we will not have a Lakota West timeout. Confusing signals from the referees up here. We always talk about that every week up in the booth. We'll see a 1st and 10. They were able to get a first on that big run to move them out of the end zone. Well overthrown, nearly into the hands of Ben Minnick. Not quite sure where that ball, I mean, we saw the receiver he was targeting, but that was nowhere near him. Harper just really inaccurate on that throw.
If my mind treats me right, this is this quarterback's first time starting for the Big Blue this year. And so he is trying to integrate into this new system, and it is his first time this year going. And so you're going to see a couple things rough like that throw, but so far he's been able to keep at least a steady mind and keep the run game going strong, manage the game well, but that throw right there just goes a little off target.
So the change showing us a little something confusing. They say 1st and 17 as we'll get a run play to the left side. Not quite sure what's going on there. And it did look like a holding call on the last play. So Hamilton is backed up. So we see him get a little bit of a chunk out of that. It will now be 2nd and 9 off the run to the left side for the Big Blue. See Harper getting set in the backfield. Takes a snap, back to throw. Pump fakes, tucks it, and runs it. He is able to fling it downfield off a hand of Ben Minnick. Once again, a near interception for the Notre Dame man, but it will fall to the turf incomplete. Brings up a 3rd and 9 for the Big Blue.
3rd down, big down. Although Lakota West is up big, right here this would be a game icer if they can really force this team to punt. Because with this 3rd quarter coming down to its final seconds, this right here is what could end this game and really ice this one out and send Lakota West on to looking up for Mason next week.
3rd and 9 on the way. Nasir Harper, once again, the man in the shotgun taking the snap, under pressure, and he is finally brought down. Took quite a bit of help from the Firebirds defensive front, but they finally drag him down. It'll be a 4th and quite the distance, as here comes the punt team once again to kick it away for the Big Blue. They have yet to find the end zone or the uprights here in tonight's game. West still in a very strong lead, 24-0.
We would like to mention that the craft show put on by the PTSO is happening again soon. They were just very generous to us and have really helped us get up off our feet. So we would love it if you guys would go and support them and show up for their big fundraiser, the craft show, and show out for them. But here we are with the punt away.
Line drive received by Trent Lloyd across the 40 now to the 35. Very elusive on the return. And Lakota West going to start pretty deep into Hamilton territory to start this drive. You see those chains come out and get set for yet another Firebirds offensive drive here in the 3rd quarter with 2:34 now on the clock. We saw them struggle their last time out. What changes do you think we're going to see from them here?
I think they try keeping it on the ground a bit more. Last time they were trying to airmail it and really hurt that defense, but you're already up big. Clock is running down. Let's just ice out this game, and I expect the ball to be ran a lot more. Specifically with that big hit Mitch Bolden took, you don't want to be putting him in the line of fire much more. So expect our running backs to get it.
As you say that, we will see a Bolden pass, able to get it off while under pressure. That'll be Trent Lloyd. At the 20 to the 15, now making a push for the 10, will be brought down by multiple big blue defenders. That'll be Jesus Reynanzo leading the way for the Hamilton defense.
I love to be proven wrong over and over. And right there, I was proven wrong again. I thought West would come out on a more conservative set, but West is looking dangerous today, and they're here to challenge. And so here they are coming out and pass and just throwing it over the top and hitting right there the receivers that they needed to hit and just making a huge gain downfield.
Around 2 minutes now to play. Ball spotted officially on the 13-yard line. We'll see a handoff. Jet sweep. That's Giovanni Wilson able to push inside the 10-yard line. Not going to get a first out of it, but he does get quite a nice chunk. And they push ever closer. There is that first down marker on the 4-yard line. It will go as a gain of 6. So we will now see a 2nd and 4 on the way. Seeing Giovanni Wilson a little bit more involved than he has been in past games here tonight. We've seen that running game really take off. We've seen Trent Lloyd get more involved in the past few weeks, and now Giovanni here today. As we see Trent Lloyd take this one, there will be a penalty flag thrown. No gain on the play. We'll see what the penalty is. See if we can get the call. It looks like they're going to call holding. They haven't announced it yet, and indeed it will be a holding going against the Firebirds, backing them up. That is a 10-yard penalty. It will now be 2nd and 14. With the Big Blue electing to accept it.
That ball moving them back there now, really detrimental there, forcing that offense backwards. It is still 2nd down, but it's a huge hit. Luckily, if this doesn't go through and they don't find the end zone, they've got Tyler Bond to kick that ball through. As we've seen earlier in this game, he can kick a long field goal.
Now about a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Got off to a slow start since then. That clock has just kept running. We'll see the fake handoff to Trent Lloyd. Bolden able to dump it out. That's Brennan Remy finding some room on the sideline. He will eventually be brought down, but a pretty nice gain on that play for Lakota West. Those chains move closer together. Not quite to the first down, but we will see a 3rd and relatively short compared to the 2nd and 19 we just saw.
What we're seeing there is Trent Lloyd has been electric on all these jet sweeps. They decided to jet sweep and get the linebackers focused in down there on the inside and looking at who's going to the left side of the field. Meanwhile, they set up a bit of a screen with Remy on the right side of the field, and that just gets a big gain.
So we'll see Mitch Bolden back to pass, looks to the end zone. It is, I believe it was caught. Will they call it a touchdown? We don't have a signal yet. It will be caught. It is not in the end zone, I believe. That ball spotted on the 1-yard line. It looked like from our perspective he was across the goal line. It will not be the case. We do have 5 seconds to go before the end of the quarter. Bolden under center now. Will they elect to go for it? They will. Bolden pushes up the middle, and the big bodies up front able to push him and clear away. So it'll be 30-0 Lakota West at the end of the 3rd quarter. Tyler Bond going to come out looking to kick the PAT, make it a 31-0 ball game. But all around, a dominant performance for these Lakota West Firebirds thus far, and it continued on that offensive drive.
Mitch Bolden, after taking that heavy hit, is still putting his body on the line out there. That's what you love when you have a quarterback who's willing to still put it all out there and really give you everything he's got, no matter how bad it's looking.
So we'll see the southpaw kicker now on, looking to make it 31-0. The snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and Bond got absolutely all of it. So 31-0 now our score. We'll take a quick break. Still got a whole nother 12 minutes. The 4th quarter of play on the way from Lakota West Student Broadcasting. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to stay with us through the break. 31-0, your Lakota West Firebirds increase their lead over the Big Blue as we get started in the fourth quarter of play. Both teams lined up for the kickoff. It looks like they forgot we're flipping what side of the field you're going on here in the fourth quarter, as they now have to reline up on the other side of the field. So we'll get a quick stoppage there. But a fresh 12 minutes, your Lakota West Firebirds up 31-0. Very convincing lead over the Big Blue. Grant, what did you see out of that last offensive drive?
I saw a team that was resilient and able to fight back no matter what happened or how big the fouls were. And so Lakota West was really out there pushing hard and were able to come back no matter how many times they were sent back down, even down to sloppy fouls. But here we go. Refs seeming to find a bit more confusion here as they switch the teams back to the original spot they lined up in. But doesn't matter. Here we are ready with Bond to kick it off. And fourth quarter action is about to start here with 12 minutes left on the clock.
I believe we are finally in the right spot. Hamilton should be going that way, where Mitch Bolden just snuck the ball across the goal line for another Lakota West 7. And we'll finally see this kick up and away to begin the final 12 minutes of play. Lakota West up convincingly. Hamilton not quite ready to get up. So we'll see that one bounce through the back of the end zone. It will be a touchback for the Big Blue.
Big Blue is coming out here. They want to assemble a drive. We see this every week. Well, most weeks, but a team down big really just wants to get one solid drive at least to build the team and to build up really confidence and get a good team mentality rolling out, especially with Hamilton, who looks to go 2-4 now if they bite the bullet on this one and take the loss. And so Hamilton just wants to get one solid drive in and get some momentum. Now here they are out set to execute on that, hopefully.
And Hamilton, the record not looking too pretty. They will definitely make the playoffs, though, those expanded OHSAA football playoffs. So as far as seeding goes, they can work on that, but nothing to be concerned about as far as not making the tournament. As we see a throw deep there from Harper, it will be incomplete on the Hamilton sideline. We'll see a 2nd and 10.
QB there, he locks in. He sees press coverage on his wide receiver out wide to the right, and he gives him a signal that he's going to throw it even before the snap happens. And so he throws it without even reading the defensive back, and there was lockdown coverage the whole way. And so luckily for the quarterback, that ball flies out of bounds. Quarterback really just locked in there and chose the read before the play even snapped.
And we do want to note that pass was incomplete on the sideline, but you will notice that running clock. There is a 30-point or greater deficit. West up now 31-0. So that clock will not be stopping unless Hamilton able to either kick a field goal or cross the goal line for 6. That run not going to go much of anywhere. It looks like it'll be another 3rd and 10. So at this point, it doesn't look like they're going to be stopping that running clock anytime soon.
Yeah, this game is going to be going down, and it looks like we're going to be able to write this one off as another Firebird W up here in the Bird's Nest. And so we're really happy about it, and we're glad to see what's happening. And West looks to move to 6-0, 5-0 in the GMC, and they're keeping their sights locked in on that state championship.
Harper with the snap, back to pass, instantly under pressure, wrapped up by multiple Firebirds. That'll be a sack for about 2 or 3, but it will bring up a 4th and very long. It looks like Hamilton conceding. They will bring out that punt team. No effort to go for it on 4th down. So West is up 31-0. It looks like it'll stay that way unless Hamilton gets the ball back one more time and decides to start going for these big plays.
We've seen a couple fake punts this game. Interesting to see if we see another one. Sadly, we don't.
Some intentional, some not. There is a very high, short kick. We'll see where they finally touch the ball. They let it roll, and West will be on their own, Hamilton's 46-yard line, it looks like. So 9:52 on the clock. Lakota West about to get yet another offensive drive underway. They did have a very successful drive their last time out. The first drive of the half, not so much, so there were a couple of key changes there. And I think, as you noted earlier, maybe starting to see a little bit more of that ground game, especially now with the running clock.
Yeah, I think West is going to try locking this one in. Last time I said they were going to run it and try running that clock down, I was proven wrong quickly. So I'm not going to come out here and make another assertion, but this time they might agree with me and run this ball.
See Bolden and Gonzalez, as always, in the backfield. Giovanni Wilson coming across to the left side of the field, hit big instantly around the 50-yard line. We did note this a couple times last week, and it is the case here with the band playing through a couple of these plays here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That is in clear violation with the rules, but maybe since they're saying the home team band is playing through the home team's offense, it's okay. Because really the problem with the music is the offense needs to be able to hear audibles and snap counts. And so any non-fan created sounds are not allowed, like looking at the band there, but since it's through our own offense, it appears that the refs are going to say it's fine.
So Bolden now the throw, well underthrown for Giovanni Wilson, and we are going to see a 3rd and 13 on the way for Lakota West.
Well, this is exciting. I hope to see Bolden really get loose. We've seen a bunch of big plays, but they've been on really only mid-range passes, and we haven't seen much of Mitch's deep ball at all this year. I would love to see Mitch let loose and really try throwing one way down the field for 20 yards plus of air yardage from the line of scrimmage. And so that would be exciting, and I want to see what West comes up with here and what they allow Mitch to release on this play.
So we see him line up for the 3rd and long. Now 8:30 on the clock. It is still running after the incompletion. As we did note, the running clock here in the 4th quarter with a 30-point lead. Is Mitch Bolden going to carry this one? No contest, pushing for that 1st down, able to get the 1st, and quite a few more now out of bounds as they extend this drive.
Well, it wasn't quite a deep ball. It wasn't a moonshot, but it was a classic Mitch Bolden. He looks, feels the pressure, sees everyone surrounding him, and he goes, well, I've got people on my left. I've got people on my right. I've got someone right behind me, but there's no one in front of me. And he takes that ball and he just gasses it down the field and runs out the left sideline for about a 20-yard gain on a 3rd and 13.
See, Bolden takes a snap, back to throw yet again. You see him running with it to the right side, eventually tripped up, about a loss of 2 or 3 on the play. Clock keeps running.
Down to about 7:30 in this game. Coming down, and we're going to wrap this one up here shortly. We would love to thank you guys once again. We'd love to thank our fans because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And so we're very excited that all of you stick here with us and watch this game. We would love to thank especially all the family members. It's great to see the support of their children, grandchildren, and everyone who shows out for these games. It's a great community here at Lakota, and we're excited that you guys are here with us.
Bolden now takes a snap, back to throw, pump fake, runs to the right side, crosses the line of scrimmage to the 30, the 25. A little bit of a dive there for the 20, not quite to the 1st down marker. I do not believe. We'll see where they spotted. He might have ended up reaching for that ball. Will those chains move? And it looks like they will. So a 1st down on the play for Mitch Bolden. Yet another incredible run up the middle.
Right there, he's seeing that defense shift towards the middle of the field and lock up those crossing routes. And so he sees that whole right side of the field open. And so he pump fakes, looks towards the middle of the field. He's got the eyes of the defense looking towards all the receivers, and he's able to make a big gain down the right sideline.
Bolden with the snap. Quick screen to Brennan Remy. Throw hits the ground. Incomplete. We'll see 2nd and 10.
Nice night here as the game comes winding down. Always love a good night. Nice and cool. I bet those players are finally loving some winter weather, fall weather coming in. It's always hot under all those pads and uniforms and everything. And up here in the booth, we're finally not sweating our butts off up here with like this 100-degree booth facing the sunlight. We got some nice clouds and we got a cool, chill night tonight.
Yeah, the clouds keeping that sun away, but then also that nice cool breeze that we got going tonight. Probably the coolest night of the year so far for any West athletic event. Now Bolden dumps it off. That's Junior Gonzalez. He's got room inside the 10 to the 5. Able to push his way across the goal line. That's a Lakota West touchdown. 6 more on the board. We'll see 37-0 put up on the scoreboard. Still the PAT to go. 5:37 on the clock, and West just keeps running the score up.
Right here, once again, they consistently use that Trent Lloyd jet sweep motion to distract the defense as they set up something on the right side of the field. It's so dangerous what Trent Lloyd has been doing these past few games, especially against what we saw against Princeton. And so now they're able to use it as not just an attack, but a distraction as Tyler Bond comes out to kick this PAT up and hopefully through the uprights.
Snap good, hold good, kick is good. 38-0 now our score. 5:37 on the clock. We're going to step away for a moment. We'll be right back. Hamilton looking to end the shutout that Lakota West has going. 38-0. 38-0, our new score down here at Firebird Field. Junior Gonzalez able to take a pretty short pass and push his way across the goal line for 7 more on the Lakota West side of the scoreboard. Bond ready to get us away. Kick is up into the sky, and they're going to let it bounce about a yard into the end zone. 5:33 on this running clock that we have in the fourth quarter, but a little over halfway through, 5:33 officially, and we'll see Hamilton start with the ball on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Coming down here to the end of this game, West is looking to put their, would this be their second shutout of the year?
Well, if we want to get technical, I guess you could call Princeton a shutout. We did see that bit of a missed call, but yes, I do believe officially on the GMC website this will go in as their second shutout. We do get a little bit of a stoppage in play, maybe a timeout called. There is a timeout taken off the Hamilton side of the scoreboard. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. 5:29 to go. West still up 38-0. And we are back. That was a Hamilton timeout officially, as they're now down to 1 timeout on the scoreboard. There is a West timeout taken off as well, but West now has 2 remaining and Hamilton 1 remaining. We will see this Hamilton offensive drive. Not a whole lot of time, especially with a running clock, to do much damage, but they are looking to avoid that shutout. So we'll see the run to the right side. Not much of a gain for Hamilton. That was coming on a 2nd and 7. Looks like it'll be about a 3rd and 6 now.
Both teams coming out, setting out of the line.
Always a fun night here at Firebird Field, especially up in the box. We appreciate our whole team here tonight. As always, Nick Johnson and Grant Hageman bringing you the coverage of tonight's game from up in the booth. All of our producers, Dimitri Fizik, Alyssa Wise, and all the cameramen up on the roof, Noah Bramble, and Zach Bryan also up on camera. As we see the handoff to the left side, not going to go much of anywhere, and we'll see yet another Hamilton 4th down.
We also have a student shadowing today. We've got Jackson up here in the booth and Lucas Moody, who did not just shadow today. He sideline reported before the game started. It's a new addition to the broadcast. We've got a nice, solid team here of about 8 tonight. We love to see it. Lakota West broadcast numbers keep improving. We've got a great base of team members, and we've also got a great fan base. As we see here, Lakota West has a great defense because now the punt is forced and Hamilton punts away.
Yeah, once again, maybe a sign of conceding as we see the punt taken about the 40-yard line. Fair catch called for, so we'll see Lakota West get another 1st and 10, 3 minutes, 37 seconds. Not quite sure how much damage they're going to attempt to do, but it is looking like this is going to be a shutout as time just keeps ticking. Hamilton not really making an attempt to try and put some points on this board.
Yeah, this game's going to come down, which I think, with a big donut on the scoreboard with a big old 0. And so I think it's funny. I'm going to mention this one final time. Hamilton posting that video calling Lakota West average and nothing better than that before this game. It always hurts the most when you talk. And so that's the problem. And that's one thing to love about Lakota West. They don't talk, they just do the walk. And they will continue to win games without having to brag or showboat about it. But here we are with a handoff that's going to go backwards as he fights to try gaining yardage, but is sadly going to be drugged down by 3 Hamilton defenders.
Cordell Atkins going to be the man, as now the bench has officially been emptied for Lakota West. We do want to note that it'll be Sam Wiles out at quarterback now, not Nolan Parker, who we've typically seen come in as that backup man in these blowout games. But it did look like a loss of about 9 on that play, so about a 2nd and 19 on the way.
Clock continues to tick down. Now within 3 minutes, we would like to remind you that in high school football, there is no 2-minute warning, so we're just going to keep on driving down this clock as this game wraps up going towards the end.
See the keeper from Sam Wiles able to get a couple out of it. Nothing major allowed by the Hamilton defensive front. I guess the biggest part of that play is just keep that clock running, keep those chains moving no matter how small of the game. We are now under 2.5 to go, so this game slowly but surely wrapping up. And Lakota West has pretty much officially sealed that win.
Teams trying to gather their play, learn from their coaches. Got a lot of young guys out there really trying to cement themselves in this team for the future. West, of course, has to plan for this future now. We're seeing a lot of young guys come in with a lot of seniors going to be going out this year. So Coach Bolden is going to be looking towards his young guys to really figure this out, but that's going to be a delay of game right there on Lakota West, and it's going to go backwards a bit. I assume Coach Bolden's just running out the clock as much as he can. He loves the 0 that we have on the scoreboard right now against Hamilton. He knows it's a running clock, so he's like, why don't we just take this and let's just not snap the ball and let the delay of game happen. Now they're just going to put.
We saw those numbers ticking off that play clock, and West a little bit slow getting out, and eventually they did with about 3 seconds, but they ended up letting it run, and there was that delay of game penalty, and the clock did keep running through that, so we do see the incompletion there. It'll now be 4th down and 20, a little bit over a minute to go. If West decides to let this clock run down as much as they can, it looks like Hamilton going to have well less than a minute to try and get rid of that goose egg.
Lakota West ready to punt it away here, wasting every second they can, trying to make sure they secure this win. Coaches have already cleared out of their booth next to us, calling this one a win already. We'd love to see it. Lakota West really cementing their lead, and they're going to take another delay of game, I assume, is about to happen here. And yes, they will.
Yeah, we did see that play clock winding down, and it didn't seem like West was in any hurry there. Very intentional. And even on the penalties, the clock not going to stop. And now it looks like the game clock is now less than the play clock, so I believe they're just going to let this one run out. So from Firebird Field, your final 38-0 Lakota West Firebirds. We'll see if they decide to get this playoff, but the sidelines are leaving. So 38-0 our final, your Lakota West Firebirds. A very dominant performance over the Hamilton Big Blue. Travel into Westchester. They tried, but the Lakota West team on both sides of the ball, very dominant, not really letting them do much of anything. And once again, Lakota West putting another W in the column. They now move on to 6-0, 5-0 in GMC play as they continue to roll through the GMC conference with ease. From Nick Johnson and Grant Hageman up in the booth, all our producers and cameramen as well. Thanks for tuning in to the broadcast. We appreciate the support. And as always,